exactly what do we change and how? Do you have any views about that?
In simple terms, we would say we would abolish all taxation except for that on the monopoly rents or the economic rents of the world. Okay, a lot of people don't agree with me on that, even that support it. Yeah, I'm a zealot, if you like. So it allows moderate people to move into the same space. Do you know what I mean? You have to have somebody going for it. It wouldn't be something. It wouldn't be a shock to the system. There are ways to adopt it all very gracefully indeed, very gracefully. It wouldn't be a shock to the system. The important thing to remember is that it would make everything else so much easier to deal with. You know, the welfare problems, the health problems, you know, the food problems, the energy problems, you know, all this sort of thing would be so much easier to solve.
All the taxes that we need to collect in order to fund public services of any sorts would come from just that one tax then?
Yeah, well, this is a common question that comes up every time someone first thinks about it. You're asking the exact question. Is there enough to fund government from the rent of the land? We're saying, well, tax comes out of the rent of land anyway, yeah? So we're just making it more efficient by doing it directly at source rather than waiting to take it from people's production, yeah? Very inefficient way of doing it, because it discourages production. So tax, just remember this, tax comes out of the economic rent anyway.
And you would look at that as being taxing the same amount per the same parcel of land?
No, that's a very good question to ask. That would be completely unjust if we did that.
Yeah.
Completely regressive and unfair. Because the most valuable land in the world probably is around here somewhere in the city, £400 million an acre. It's not much of it, but it's worth a hell of a lot. Yeah. And the average farmland in the UK is £4,000 an acre, so 100,000 times less. So we would tax the land value of the land area. It's a very important question. Because the other way would be very horrible. It'd be like poll tax. It'd be very regressive, you know. It's just a matter of flipping around the fiscal system, you know. Everything else would still remain here, you know, nothing would disappear overnight or anything, you know, nobody would be hard up. We'd say everybody would be a little bit better off, and things would start to improve in the morning.
But surely everybody can't be better off. Some people must be giving some things away in the process.
If your entire earnings came from economic rent, i.e. you didn't do any productive economic activity at all, yes, then maybe you would be worth it. Would the oligarch that we're talking about, the 2 or 3 of them in the world that would be worse off, what would they prefer the world to look like that their children were born into? One of justice or one of robbery? That's the question to ask those people.
Well, if they're the ones benefiting, you might think that greedily they might go for the one that gives their children the wealth that they've got.
Think about it. Those children are going to be under risk as well.
Under risk from?
Death. People will want to kill them. You know, that's why they have
the revolution,
gardens.
Effectively.
Well, no, I mean, they have walled gardens around, they have walled cities now, don't they? It's just like going back to Norman times where you have to build a castle. It's ridiculous. We don't need to do this anymore. And we don't hate anybody anymore. We know everybody. We know there's no threat.
Yeah, so if you're willing to share, effectively, you're safe. So
well,
it's
yeah,
worth
I mean,
doing.
If the distribution of wealth is just, not even, but just. Everybody has different abilities, don't they? I mean, to divide it all up evenly would be unfair as well.
Yeah.
You know?
And not everybody has the same aspirations either.
Yeah, they have different skills and different things. Some people want to play golf and do art, and other people want to change the world, you know. Let them do it. But don't give them any more than they've earned. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. People say, oh, what about the welfare? I'm saying there wouldn't be any welfare. People who were willing and able to find work, which is everybody on unemployment benefit now, mostly. Okay, you might get a tiny proportion of genuine benefit scroungers. They're very unrepresentative. Most people out of work are willing and able to work, and if you let them, if you removed all the blocks from them getting it, they would go straight into it immediately, wouldn't they?
You're saying gradually things will get better and better.
If you look down the scale of people that aren't earning as much, they're starting to actually produce things. They're using their work and their enterprise to earn. And more of their income becomes earned income, so they will be better off anyway. Farmers are a classic example. They don't like it though, because they think it's a land tax. They think, well, I have lots of land. But you're saying your land isn't worth much in the market, although it produces great stuff. You wouldn't hardly pay anything. We might even exempt you because it's not worth collecting. It would cost more to collect it than to charge you for it or something. We might not do. But at the same time, we're abolishing all taxation as well. So all your capital goods, your seeds, your tractors, your buildings, your fences, your hedgerows, everything you have to invest in, which has got a huge tax on it already at high tax rates. Yeah, wages.
So you save all of the taxes that affect your work effectively, but
And
you're going to
enterprise.
pay more taxes on your land.
Well,
and as a farmer,
you wouldn't pay more on the land. You would pay for the benefit you receive from it. What was the land value?
yeah.
How much do people want that piece of land is how much people will pay for it or rent it for. Yeah. So if someone wants it more than you, they pay more than they buy it, I'm afraid. But they have to pay the value of that back into the common fund for government revenue. Yeah, the full value of it. No exemptions, no compensation.